Oh, Lewis, well done. Really good performance. How did you find it?
Yeah, obviously disappointing result. Obviously losing the game, being knocked out of the competition so early. But I think personally, it's what you dream of as a kid, playing in the biggest games. And I think playing against a top team like City and at the Etihad is something that you dream of. So really happy. Yeah.
It's obviously the FA Cup was brilliant last season, but that was Chesterfield. This is the champions of England. The step up is marked, isn't it? Did you feel that kind of intensity to the game?
Yeah, definitely. The way they move the ball around is one of the best teams in the world to do it. So it's very tough, physically demanding against a team like City. But I think we still had chances where we could have potentially got ourselves back into the game or put ourselves ahead. So yeah, I think we can take positives from the game.
The boss has just been in here lauding your performance. What did he say to you before the match and then again when you came off? Because we saw everybody giving you high fives and handshakes.
Yeah, no, before the game he was just like, "You've deserved this," and he obviously said that what I've done in training, just keep doing it and play the way I play. Don't play any differently and just be myself and try to express myself as best as possible. Yeah.
So, those of us who've watched you in the youth team over the last couple of years have seen you play. I think I've seen you play pretty much everywhere except in goal. Is that wide left role the one that you favour yourself? Is that where you see yourself eventually ending up?
I think, if I'm honest, I prefer playing in the middle of the pitch. I feel like that's where I can be most effective, whether that's as a pivot or as an 8. I feel like that's where I can be most effective. But I've played left side quite a lot, whether it's wing back or centre half. I think it's something that I like to have, that versatility. So when the manager can pick a team, there's different positions that you can be selected for.
Have you set yourself a goal now for the rest of the season? Are you thinking you want to get more first team minutes? Is it about carrying on the good form that we've seen in PL2 this year, or are you just kind of taking it one step at a time?
I think taking it one step at a time, because obviously at the start of the season I was playing regularly in the PL2 and I was really happy with how I was doing, and as a team I feel like we're really building and we're getting somewhere with it. But with opportunities like this where it's something that you're not quite expected, but it's happened all so quickly, I think you just got to take it one week at a time and from one game to the next.
Finally, John Terry was saying how impressed he was with your performance tonight on Twitter. He's obviously the benchmark for the Chelsea Academy. But when you look at the team now, can you see that pathway because of the likes of Reece and Mason and Trev and everybody else who's playing? You feel that there's a route through from the academy to the first team? Yeah,
definitely, especially when you look at those players like you mentioned, Reece, Mason, Trev, everyone. I think it's a big inspiration to all young players who are potentially training with the first team and getting experiences like I did tonight. I think everyone realises that it's possible, and I think with John Terry, he's in and around the academy coaching, and he's really good with all the younger players. And he's just a top inspirational guy.
We'll be inspiring kids in the academy now. Well done tonight. We'll speak to you again soon.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, if you'd like a question, please raise your hand. We'll get around the room. See anyone? Who wants to start things off? Anyone? Adam, is the microphone coming?
Thanks. Graham, how do you assess tonight's performance? I mean, there seem some positives at least to take.
Yeah, I thought there were quite a few positives. To be honest, I thought obviously we're disappointed with the result, but in terms of how we played, created some good chances. There was a better structure and a better performance level. The team looked closer to what we wanted it to look like. Boys had great courage. They tried against obviously a top team. Their keeper got the man of the match, I think, which tells a little bit of the story. But yeah, overall, I think a step forward for us.
Can I just ask what you thought of Lewis Hall as well, not just in terms of his quality, but also his temperament to play on this stage and the performance he did?
Yeah, I really enjoyed his performance. Took responsibility, took the ball in tight areas, tapped the box. Could have scored a couple of goals on another day. So he had, it was a really nice performance, a mature performance, I thought. But he's a quiet lad, but he goes about his work. Really, I've been really impressed with him.
Okay, any more? No, leave it there. Thank you.
Well, Graham, commiserations. What were your overall thoughts on the performance tonight?
Positive. I liked a lot of the performance. We created some big chances. I thought played some good football. Attacked with a good clarity and a good idea. And the boys gave everything. So we're disappointed to lose, of course, but I think a step forward in terms of performance.
Yeah, pretty instructive that their goalkeeper was man of the match, wasn't it? It was everything but the goal for us.
Yeah, exactly. I thought first half we had a couple of big chances with I think Christian and Lewis, and even second half some good opportunities as well. So that's the fine bit that we have to try to improve. But again, in terms of how we wanted to play, what we wanted to look like, it was a lot better. As I said, a step forward for us.
And that's the reason for encouragement, isn't it? I guess with finishing, that's something that you can practice and you can practice, but it either happens or it doesn't. But in terms of pattern the play and control of the game, that's what must give you real encouragement from tonight.
Yeah, we've been honest. I think the results haven't been what we wanted recently, and the performances haven't been where we want them either. We want the team to play better and create more chances and look better. And I thought today was a big step forward. So that's the pleasing thing. That's the positive. We don't like to lose. Again, I reiterate that. We wanted to come here and win, and we tried. But in the end, it wasn't to be. But again, step forward for us.
Must ask you about Lewis Hall. Could have had a couple of goals, but a tremendous performance.
Fantastic, yeah. From a young player, willing to attack. He took responsibility on the ball, took in tight situations, drove with the ball when he could. I mean, it was a real refreshing debut. Well, not a debut, but debut for us in terms of our time here. But really impressive performance.
You'll be monitoring him from this point, presumably, and I guess a big part of that is how he responds to going back to academy football.
Well, he's been training with us. I mean, he hasn't been out of place when he's trained with us, and I think with the games situation that we've had, and we'll get to know more over the break because we can train with him. He's around, so that's good. So he's got a nice future as a young player. We need to look after him, but a good step for him today.
Finally, Newcastle on Saturday. Obviously, that's a difficult game given the way that they've been playing at home. Similar kind of pattern to tonight, perhaps, where we might be doing some counter-attacking.
Well, every game's different, but for sure they've had a fantastic season so far. Eddie's done a great job there, and they'll be pumped and ready for us. That's for sure, because that's the nature of the Premier League and how they've started the season. But we have to perform like we did tonight and learn a few little lessons and try and take another step forward. And if we can do that, then we can go there and get a result.
Hard luck tonight. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.